intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to EITR. This is actually our second time starting this episode because I couldn't get it together, but we're back. I know that we actually this is not posted on Monday. This the one that's posted later this week. So we had some issues last week with timing and illness, and it was a very busy week.
We're going to discuss it in highs and lows, but moral of the story, Corinne had a hellish week.
Yes. So we were like, okay, it's completely fine. Like, it happens. But because it's still really early in the year and we have that goal of how many is it? 45, 46? Something. I think we gave us a total of 5 weeks off for the 2022 is like a goal, and we don't want to use it prematurely if we don't have to. So this week, this will be the second episode for this week, which is pretty exciting. I don't think we've ever posted 2 in 1 week.
I don't think so.
So yeah, good for you guys.
So if you're watching on video, I'm currently, every week is like a different location. It's gonna be a fun little game of like, where is Rinn this week? As I'll explain in my high and lows, for various reasons, I'm in Hannah's dorm room. So thank you so much for allowing me to film space, Hannah. I also am drinking hot chocolate and eating dinner because I just got off a 7-hour shift and want to die a little bit. So you're getting what you're getting. Like, this is kind of the best that I can give you right now.
As for me, I think that there's only been one other because this is only the second filmed one, and the first one, third.
Yeah, the first one we did together.
Oh, but we did use the Zoom one for the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Good.
I haven't posted it yet because it's gonna take 2.5 hours to export from my computer.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that kind of time yet. I just edited this morning, so I'm gonna do that after this episode. So it's going up tonight, ladies.
Yes. There was an issue with our last episode because my video was quite literally 19 gigabytes and wouldn't export for the life of it unless I wanted to pay like $30 to get it minimized. I'm like, no. So you guys got Zoom quality again. Did I unmute myself? What?
No.
What do you mean no?
You didn't mute yourself.
Oh, I did mute myself. I asked if I unmuted it because I was just talking to nobody if I hadn't unmuted it yet.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, so this time we're trying something new. So hopefully we will get a better video. Maybe not though.
Okay. Highs and lows.
First sock of the week.
What?
Sock of the week first.
Oh, we're not ending with that?
Oh yeah, we can end with that, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Highs and lows. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Let's just pull up the doc.
So since the time I wrote this document, a lot has changed. So that's so funny. We were supposed to originally film this on the 14th. It is actually the 18th. That's so funny. Jokes.
It's the way that 4 days ago, like actually like so much has happened, even for me.
Yeah, it's been a rough one.
It's been a.
So okay, I've actually gotten permission from certain people to share certain things, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So okay, highs. I started school last week. I am taking 3 quiet hours about to start. I need to be quiet. I have 3 online classes and 3 in-person classes, and I really like my schedule. I do have one 8 a.m. class that kicks my tail, but beyond that, I am liking my schedule. I really am enjoying being back in Birmingham. I'm trying to extend my social circle this year, if you listen to our New Year's resolutions episode, and it's going decently well. So we'll report back because I've yet to make it like substantiate any new friends, but hoping. You're muted, Morgan. I am loving my classes. And that's kind of where the highs end. So the lows. I flew back to Alabama, and the day after got very sick. Like, very sick. Like, I am pretty certain it was the flu. It could have not been, but I'm pretty sure it was. I got tested for COVID, didn't have COVID. Um, but some combination of flying home or being in Florida when Morgan and Peyton and my mom were sick, some combination within there was very, very sick.
Okay.
Yes.
Me, my sister, and your mom were one, all sick at different times, and two, me and Peyton were not near your mother when she was sick at all.
Up.
So
But
that
I
has
was near
nothing to
all
do
of
with it.
you.
What?
Let me live my life. So,
No.
anyways,
Okay.
I was very sick. Like, had a fever for sure. Like couldn't breathe for a little bit. Just very like a lot of honestly COVID-like symptoms and as well as flu-like symptoms. It was not good. So I
But
still
you were
went to all.
nauseous, right?
What?
You were nauseous?
Yes, I threw up a couple times.
Okay. Okay. That's enough.
I wasn't gonna give details. Anyways, I was not doing good.
Doing well.
No, doing good. So, but I still went to all my classes, but I did call out of work for the week. Just because like I was pretty sure that I was contagious. I didn't know what I had. I knew I did not have COVID because I got tested, but I did not know what I had. So I called out of work and still went to classes. We at the university, I'm open about where I go to. At UAB, we're like very like strict on things and we're masked everywhere that we go. But to me, like even though I tested negative for COVID and like could have gone to work like based on like their like codes, something about like handling hundreds of people's food while sick just like didn't sit with me. So I just called out of work. And that was nice to kind of like slowly get back into work and stuff. So that was awful. um and then I'm trying to find a new job because I am just taking on a lot of new fiscal responsibilities. I want a car. I want to move like in either on my own or off campus next year and just have like a lot of goals that require money that I don't currently have. So I'm looking for another job because the jobs that I have now just don't give me the hours that I need. On top of that, the job at Starbucks that I have, I hate. I say as I'm currently eating the free food that I receive for working there, but I hate it. I no longer enjoy it. Yeah, I dread it. It's not good for me. So I need to now not only find another job, but I need to quit that job and find a job that gives me a lot of hours now because that was my main paying job. So that's awful. Like I just got off of a 7-hour shift where I did not get a break. So I was standing the entire time. I was extremely overstimulated, extremely nauseous. I did cry. I did like I'm not going to lie to any of you. I did cry in the middle of making drinks. I did get a lot of stares. It was just not I hate you. It was not entertaining or good by literally any means. Um, with that, my roommate has COVID. So that's really fun. She luckily we were never in the same space within 6 feet apart at all since she's been exposed. We don't like go near each other a lot besides living in the same room. We have spacious dorm rooms. So I was only like in the same room as her for like 10 hours while we were sleeping, and our beds are more than 6 feet apart. She's extremely symptomatic. She just got a test today and moved out. So I have to go deep clean the room later tonight so I can like move back in. But I've been like in and out. I've been at Aiden's, I'm at Hannah's now. Like I haven't had a home for the past few days because I've been trying to stay out of the room so I don't get COVID. Um, we're both vaccinated, but obviously like that doesn't mean necessarily a whole lot of a lot right now. So that's been
Disagree, but I do see what you're trying to say.
well fair, but like at
Yeah.
least like at UAB, over 50% of the people who are getting COVID right now are vaccinated.
I bet you that your positive rate though is much lower than surrounding areas.
Probably.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's a lot for me. I did get a rapid yesterday and it came back negative. So that's really good for me.
Sorry, congrats.
Thank you so much. So I think I'm gonna go up to my room tonight and deep clean and move in and like get back to normal. But that's been overwhelming me a lot. I really should have asked before the episode what all he was okay with me talking about, but let's just say in the Spotlight Sunday, what I'm going to discuss this week, my friendships and relationships have all been tested this week in not great ways for my mental health, and I can't wait for Morgan to get the uncensored version of all this after the episode.
Okay.
But
I was afraid I was part of the problem.
No. So there's just a lot that I just haven't been expecting to deal with, and I've learned a lot from it, as I'm going to talk about, and hopefully you all will learn from it in my Spotlight Sunday today. But it's just like, it's been a lot. So those are my highs and lows. Rinn is just going through it recently. We're trying to come out of it on the other end, so I guess I'll report back next week. But as you'll see in my Spotlight Sunday, I've learned some things, so do with that as you will.
Is it my turn for highs and lows?
It's your turn.
Okay. Mine are much more concise. Mostly because my Spotlight Sunday is more of just like a recap and reflection. And I realize I do that a lot, but it's my favorite thing to do. I like to use the podcast as a mode or a medium for reflecting on recent experiences. It's what gets me through the day. So that's what I'll be doing today. So my highs and lows are going to be less than hers. So my highs, okay, this has a backstory. So I think this was like 6 years ago. It was a long time ago. My dad just like randomly came in my room, like, and it felt to me like it was the middle of the night, but it was probably just like relatively late, like 10 p.m. and just like asked like if I wanted pie. And so naturally I was like, yeah. So we went to a village inn, and there are no village inns near our house. So like we like made a trip for this, which is odd anyway, because we don't typically like if we are eating out, which we also don't do super often, but we always stay like within our little neighborhood bubble. Like we don't stray too far. So this was probably like a 25 minute drive just to get to Village Inn, and then we had pie and like literally just me and him, and then like came back and went to bed. And that is for since then I think has been my favorite memory with him. And I've like not super recently, but like over the past like year, 2 years, like I've mentioned it a couple times that like how like I really enjoyed doing that. And so when was this? Saturday? Yeah, Saturday night. We went to IHOP and like recreated it because Village Inn is now closed at 9 because they're lame. So we went to a 24-hour IHOP, drove like 25 minutes to get there, had breakfast. Well, he had dinner, but I had breakfast. And then we came back, and I mean, I did not go to bed, but this weekend has been very packed with atypical experiences that don't usually happen every weekend for me. So I'll get more into that later, but it was a very good time. I got a picture of him in front of IHOP on my film camera. I'm so excited to get them developed. Like I've just like been carrying it around everywhere, and so I'll just like take like one picture of like, oh, it's lovely. And then for lows, it's the third week of the semester, and I'm already like a bit overstimulated. And it's like I'm doing.
It's time for sleepy sleeps.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Okay, I'm gonna talk a little quieter for the next like 30 seconds while they enter their own bedroom and can't hear me anymore. I have one. Okay, I only have 2 classes, and you would think that would make life so easy, and it does. However, it's making me more angry because like how am I already getting overwhelmed when I only have 2 classes at the moment? It's like so frustrating. because my bio teacher, I have a strong disliking for. Basically, like I don't like there are moments when I appreciate him and then they end at that. Like that's literally I don't like the way he teaches his class. I don't like the way he speaks to us. I don't like any no. And no. He's a handful to deal with and the assignments so far have been making me especially angry because the due dates aren't adding up to the timeline of when we're learning stuff and it's a piss off. Anyway, and then my other class it's a new class from last semester, but with the same teacher. And I told him I'd be better about due dates because like halfway through the semester, during first semester, I was absent. So I made sure to go in the morning to turn in that thing that was due when I was gone. And he was like, yeah, there was a due date, but like nothing's ever really late here. And I took that and ran with it, which was, he should have never told me that because I was doing well before that. So my first, and then so I told him in like the syllabus quiz survey, whatever, like I plan on doing better with due dates. First assignment, I still haven't turned it in. I feel so bad. The rest of them so far have been turned in on time and have gotten good grades. That first one, no. So my grade is not where it should be, especially for it being so early. And then on top of that, my community college classes, it's actually such a good setup. They are all starting either in February or March. But the issue is there was a lot of there was a bit of a mishap with paperwork and stuff and getting registered for these classes. So one of them I didn't qualify for anymore because of the timing of when the class would start. So I had to take a different subject altogether because there were no late start classes for it. And the one that I chose, um I got approved by my counselor or whatever at my school and then okay. Um, but then the college also approved it, but now I'm taking more credits than I'm supposed to because I didn't realize it wasn't a 3 credit class. So we'll see how it goes. But so far this semester is just in a little bit of shambles, but hopefully
Not
we'll get into that.
shambles.
Oh, shambles. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Would you like to move on, Corinne?
Yes. Do you want to start with your spotlight first, or would you like me to? I personally would recommend you do,
Okay.
based on what I'm reading in this document, just so I know how much time I'm playing with, because I could talk for hours about mine.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Can you remind me how much I've spoken about Twilight on the pod?
A bit, not a ton.
Okay. That's fine. I'm not going to get too into it, but Twilight, oh my God, I swear that this weekend felt like at least 3 weeks long because I think about what was going on Friday and I'm like, that was forever ago. Because so Twilight left Netflix and I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's been something that I've been counting down the days to because I really wanted to get another run of the movies in before it left because they are my favorite movies, which I didn't realize I haven't had a favorite movie, I think ever because I'm too indecisive. But then I was in the car yesterday, I don't know, sometime with my friend and she told me, she's like, well, yeah, if like my favorite movies were leaving Netflix, like I'd be super upset too. And I was like, wait, you're right. They are my favorite. Anyway, but I'm just it's been a very upsetting time. I've been trying to get through them, but I only really have free time at night and at night I'm tired. So I don't get through them very quickly. And then I had finished the first one and I finished the first one I think Thursday night. So I had Friday and Saturday to watch 4 2-hour movies. And I have work and I have school and it was a bad plan to begin with. I don't know how I even made it. Friday I watched Eclipse, which was the third one, and I think that is all. And then Saturday, and then I was gonna pull an all-nighter and go to work the next day, which was a great idea. It was a great idea. I had literally the perfect amount of time from how long the movies would take me, then like I would be able to get like then I'd be getting up out of bed like 40 minutes early and I'd have so much time to be ready and at work on time. You look like you're about to say something. What?
That sounds like an awful idea.
Oh.
Did you have plans that day, or could you like leave work, go home, and sleep?
Oh. I don't do plans.
Okay.
That was funny. Anyway, yeah, no, I had no intentions of doing anything. Like even if I did, Twilight was my priority. Like I needed to get them done. So
When
I'm
is
like,
it leaving Netflix?
I'll get there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
No,
Okay.
okay. Oh well, it left Netflix Saturday night
Okay.
at midnight, and so I immediately, when I thought of this genius idea, I went to the drugstore and got Monsters because I'm like, I can't do all-nighters by myself anymore. Like I used to be so good at staying up throughout the night, and like even if I had nothing to do, like I would just like stay up for fun. I am such an old elderly person now. I cannot do such things. So I was like asking my friend who drinks Monsters very frequently about like what I should do because I'm sensitive to caffeine. So I bought 2, not thinking I would need it, but like sometimes I do get like a crash after a Monster after like 5-6 hours. And so I bought 2 just in case that happened. But then I was like, well, do I drink it now? It was like I think it was 10 p.m. was when I like was planning on starting it. So like do I drink one now at like 10 and then drink one at work and I get to work at 7 a.m.? Or like is that too much for me? Or do I like wait until like 2 a.m. to have the Monster so then hopefully I just won't need it. I need a second one. And she's crazy. She told me I should have 2 and I just completely disagreed. So I was trying to wait until 2. I fell asleep at 11:30. I fell asleep at 11:30.
That's embarrassing.
I literally woke up and cried.
What time did you wake up?
I woke up in time for work. I had my alarm
Okay.
set just in case. But like I'm still so mad. And then I'm like,
I'm LOLing at you.
and I think I only got through like an hour of Eclipse by that point. Oh, no, I had finished the second movie. I think before I said I had finished the third movie, I had finished the second movie. No, not even. Not even. I was halfway through the second movie. I had 3.5 movies to watch. Anyway, I think I finished the second movie and then I fell asleep. So I had these other 3 movies to watch. And I was like planning it out. I'm like, okay, if I go home and watch them, I will have time. It's just really stressing me out. No. I get home, I watch half of another of the movies, and then I'm out again until 6 p.m. I know. And then I'm like, I'm actually like I think I cried like 3 different times this day because I was stressed out and I wanted to watch them and I couldn't because my body was rejecting the idea. So then like literally I woke up and I think it was like 6:30 or something like that, and I immediately opened my Monster and started chugging it. I'm like, I am not doing this again. Like I need to get through this. I need to make it to midnight and I need to finish them. And then quite literally, I have a video of this on my Snapchat. So I was gonna send it to Samantha, and I as I put the Monster down, my door opens, and my dad walks in, and he goes, "Do you have any interest in going to the Lightning game, the Tampa Bay Lightning, like a hockey game?" And I'm like, "What? You have tickets?" And this is like literally right after I woke up. Like I'd probably been awake for like 8 minutes, and that's it. Um, and he's like, "I mean, not right now." I'm like, "Oh, you have access to tickets?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think so." And I'm like, "Would it just be us?" And this was also before IHOP. And anyway, so I'm like, "Would it just be us?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, I literally stared at him because I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do because I was so super overwhelmed about this whole Twilight crap. And then, but I like really did want to go to the game because I do enjoy watching hockey. I think it's very funny. People get so mad over it. I do enjoy watching hockey, and I also really enjoy hanging out with my parents like one on one, like um and so I was thinking about it. I told him, I'm like, yeah, I'll go, but I'm gonna cry while getting ready. Like, and I know I sound like I'm laughing now, but like I was literally like, I was so upset Saturday, and like I was started crying on the spot. I was not planning on crying. I thought I was being a little dramatic. No, I started crying because I knew that I would be so super mad at myself if I said no, so I could blow him off to watch Twilight. Like I knew that would make me so angry. So
Where can you
I
watch the movies? Like, can you not see them at all anymore?
no, I can. They are available on Hulu with 3-minute commercials every like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah. It's bad.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So that 2-hour movie, it's actually 3 hours. Um anyway, but so I go to the game. It was a great time. It was I loved it. It was so oh, the seats. I
Fill us in.
We were right by the players box, 5 rows from the glass, for free. I was so unqualified to be there. Like I enjoy watching hockey, but I don't know like the rules and like the fouls and like all that stuff. Like I'm not completely blind to it. Like I know that like football, no, I can't do football. I don't know the rules. Like it's a stupid game. Hockey, I understand more, but no. Had a great time, took some film pictures, moved on. Then that night, I was on TikTok because I couldn't go to bed because I had chugged that monster right before my dad came in and we had plans. And I was on TikTok and this TikTok came up of this girl who found a thread on Twitter, including a picture of Harry Styles at a hockey game at Madison Square Garden from, I believe, 2017. I could be completely wrong though. And the TikTok was talking about like, she was like, imagine going to a hockey game at the arena where you have performed in front of thousands of people. And then in the comments, everyone was like, imagine going to a hockey game and Harry Styles just sitting right next to you. And I'm like, because the hockey game I went to the one at Amalie, and that was my show was at Amalie. And the entire time, like we went up like through security, like I was like, this is where I went through security. And then like this is where I went before we were allowed onto the floor. And like then I was like, oh, I was over there on the floor. And like like everywhere I looked, like I was just reminded of my concert date. And like it was just so exciting. And then I get this TikTok on my For You page literally right after. And I had never even considered that Harry would ever go to a hockey game. Like, what sporting event does he really do besides golf? I had no idea. So if he and like then think about it, like genuinely, if he went to this concert, if he went to this game and was not in a club box, he totally could have been near me because I had such amazing seats. Like it was, I just, I don't.
Okay, Morgan, we need to reel it in.
I know. Okay. Now, I don't know where this weekend took a turn, but like that was kind of the last like super positive part of I didn't finish Twilight. Let me finish Saturday real quick and then we'll move on. I get home and I'm like, there's no way I can finish it. I literally didn't even try. I like and then it's 2 a.m. and I'm looking and it's still available. I'm like, what? So I watched the last hour of Eclipse, and by that time it's 3:12 and then I'm cut off. I think that it was 12 a.m. Pacific time, but because I was in the middle of the movie, it let me finish it. But like I like had downloaded them before. Those downloads were now invalid. I couldn't access them anymore. It said titles relating to Twilight on search. It was so sad. Anyway, Saturday before that, honestly, pretty good, whatever. I don't know when it happened, but like after that, Morgan's emotions left her soul. Like with the exception of the past like 12 hours, like that window of time has been so super odd because like nothing happened. I just like I'm now like annoyed at Oh, this is so bad. I'm not gonna get into it, but it was last night or the night before or both. I couldn't tell you. I was like getting so annoyed at every single thing. Like it was getting awful. Um and like then I was like crying at everything and I was getting frustrated and I had homework to do and like it was a late night and I was like already tired. It was so bad. But then like even I went out with my friends um oh no, it was yesterday. It was like yesterday afternoon evening. And like I love hanging out with them and they're such good people and like it was such a positive experience except like I was having fun but I was just like there. I was like it was like I was running through water. Like I don't know. And I went into a boutique to look at prom dresses and I tried one on and I thought it looked beautiful but I was just like I kind of just want to go home. Like
For the record, she did look stunning. My jaw dropped.
yeah, and I looked at all the pictures and there's not a single one of me smiling. Like
No,
I
and
genuinely
they're live photos. Like you can see how uncomfortable you are.
but it's so weird because like I liked being in the dress and I liked trying it on and everything and just like it wasn't clicking. Like I don't know. um but so yeah. And then I don't know how to explain it but like that emotion is like carrying on with me for the past like 30-40 hours and it's been awful. And then today like this morning and this afternoon like that turned into like me and last night on my way home like I started crying because I didn't want to go to college. Like because recently I don't know what it is but recently I've been
I'm
thinking like
concerned about you. Have you considered therapy?
have I oh
That's a topic we're not getting into right now.
anyway um what the hell was because I was thinking like I'm only gonna live in my house for another 8 months and like this will always be my
It
point
goes
of
by
reference.
so fast too.
Okay, stop.
Okay,
We're in
but
different
you see how
situations.
happy I am.
Yeah, we're in different situations.
You'll be so happy.
No, I am sure the college experience will be so good, but I've lived in my house with my people for 17 years. And
Me
like
too.
thinking of that
That part of the
ending,
situation's
I can't.
fine.
Yeah, I know. But like I'm like I'm so ready to like move on because like there's music. There's like these TikTok sounds that make me cry because I want to relate to them so badly. It's like people like thinking back and like how they're going to miss their friends so much when they leave. But I know that I only have like a small amount of people who I will genuinely miss so much. Like I live in a
See,
place where like
damn well I can relate to.
yeah, because like I want like so badly to like have those core people that like I could have connected with so much, but I just know that like I know that I would have been faking it if I had gone through with it and like been closer with like a lot of these people that I'm talking about. So I'm glad that I like never like put on a mask or whatever, like just so I could have friends. But I literally think I will only miss 1.5 people.
Yeah. And I want to, as the person who's been through all of it, I want to give you like so much helpful advice right now. But like there's a lot of like technical difficulties that like you'll go through and like moving out to college in the next 8 months.
Mhm.
But like for me, that was definitely the hardest part, was not the like I'm gonna miss my family, not the whatever, but this like the phone call I got from you a month ago of this is the period of time in which you're done with all of your college applications. Now it's just decision time. You're sitting and waiting. That's when the regret and the what you wish was and the you start to see like any and all of the above. That's
what phone call you were talking about.
This is when all of that sets in. And like for me it was for me, I'm lucky because mine didn't set in until graduation. So I was prolonged this for 5 months. And then when I moved here, I was so happy. But for me, it was when everyone else was so like sad and crying about graduation and missing people and missing whatever. I was sitting in my room on Photoshop planning out my dorm room because I was so excited to move.
That's the thing, like,
For me, it was that realization setting in of like, for me, it was in general how much I hated high school, but that kind of like, I didn't like this image that other people had of me of who I was and like how much I loved and like did and was active in high school. And like, oh, that was true. Like when it came down to it, like I had 1.5 friends, maybe like on a good day.
Yeah.
And part of what tested a lot of that is like a lot of things changed when my UAB decision came out and people showed some true colors. But even like without that, there was like, I was hated by a large part of the school, and that affected me a lot more than I thought. And like this is like this for seniors, and especially seniors like you, because you and I are similar in this way, is like this is that period of time where that will start to set in of the like, if this, then that, I wish this. And like that just that never really goes away until you move out.
Well, see, that's why I'm so conflicted, because like I have been looking forward to like getting my people in like such a much higher concentration of people that I genuinely love to be around. Like I'm so excited for that, and that's like why I want to move on so badly. But like everything else like hit this weekend of like how much I'm not ready to do that. Like I feel like I haven't been in high school for more than 6 months. I feel like I am not qualified or smart enough to do anything beyond what I am doing right now. Like I'm not ready to not be in my own home and like be taking care of myself and actually going grocery shopping every week. Like I go grocery shopping sometimes for my mom, not all the time. Like it's just so much more that I think more change than I am ready to sign up for. But I know I'm going to be pushed out of the house by August. Like I'm going to college. Um But yeah, that was this weekend. Some pretty high highs, some pretty low lows. I think Twilight was the lowest of them all. I'm just kidding. No, it wasn't. But that is it for my recap from this weekend. It was a long one. It was a really long one.
Okay. Sir. Okay, my spotlight. Oh my god. Okay, this kind of goes back to I don't know what all I'm allowed and not allowed to say, so I'm just gonna be as vague as possible because for our 200 like active listeners, it's pretty easy to read between some lines. This past week, I was shown. Let me backtrack. As any of you probably who have listened to half an episode can probably tell, I have this tendency to latch on. I have a tendency to develop small groups. I don't do well in like large groups of people or being close with large groups of people. I just like I don't open up to a lot of people, and so I don't get like close with people that I don't open up to, and so that just leaves me having small circles. After trial and error of various social groups, found that for me that's most effective, and that's completely fine. The downfall of that being I also at the same time concurrently have this tendency to latch on to the people that I do let into my life. I think partially because in self-therapy and self-diagnosing myself, because I've let those people into my life, I view them as like trustworthy and in this tight knit, and so I latch on to them very strongly because I view them as trustworthy. I also have this tendency of latching on very quickly, i.e., I moved to college 4 months ago, and just met some of these people who I consider very close to me. And what is that face?
4.
Sorry,
I
consider a lot of these people very close, and that in and of itself there is no problem with. But regardless of closeness and whatever relationship I have with these individuals, I essentially this week got a slap in the face of a reminder of the importance of independence. And I'm going to share that with you. Again, being vague as to what the specific situation is. But essentially within the span of 24 hours, I almost lost, besides Morgan, everyone who's close to me. For no, in my personal opinion, no fault of my own. But
I'll be the judge of that.
partially my fault, partially not. But it was not in this entire situation, in which Morgan will get the uncensored version, no one particularly did anything wrong. It was a lot of unfavorable situation that nobody was handling well, is I think how I would put it. And I totally should have told Morgan this story before we started recording so she could give a better uncensored version, because I'm one person giving my one-sided opinion. But the way that I would word it is that it was an unfavorable.
She likes my rewordings.
I do. It was an unfavorable situation that nobody handled well. So bad to the point that I called my mom and got 2.5 hours of advice 3 different times, because I didn't have the close people in my life who I normally would turn to. I couldn't, because it was all of them who were involved in said situation, and I had no one else to turn to. And she gives really good advice in really, really important instances like this.
She does. She's able to separate like that time to like advice time from like the rest of the relationship.
Yes. And I even said, like, I knew at some point in where her and I relationship is that I may regret having told her all of the things, because to help give me advice, I had to give her a lot of backstory. And even somewhere I was like, I may regret this because this is my like own individual relationship, friendship, any of the above. But I just, where I was mentally, I needed it. Like, it was bad. So we talked through the whole thing, and we're okay now, and everyone's fine. And I still am, for anyone trying to guess who it is, any of the individuals, I'm still with and friends with any and all of them. But it was a unfriendly reminder that I need to stop doing that. And it was
what? Oh, relying on people,
latching on to people. And I do this really fun thing where nothing is consistent in my life. Like, things in the stage of my life that I am now, things are consistently changing from literally anything. And so me in my head will latch, like, at the stage in the life I am right now, it's a Roblox game that, like, when everything else in my life goes wrong, I still have that. And I continue to latch on to those few things of like, everything else can be bad, but I still have this one person, or I still have my good grades, is what it was in high school, or I still have my brother, or I still have right now this Roblox game, or I still have running when I was a little bit younger, or I still have this, whatever thing is the most consistent in my life or semi-consistent in my life, I latch on to for my mental health, like for the, like, everything else is hell and falling apart right now, but like, this is okay. This week I learned that, but this is okay should never be a person, because when that consistency falls through, everything goes to shambles. Because in reality, when Morgan gets the uncensored version of what I'm telling you right now, it was a general, like, it was unfortunate there was multiple people on the same night in the same situation. That wasn't good for me to deal with. But like, it was a typical like argument situation, whatever you deal with. But for me, I internalized it and dealt with it so greatly, because those people were my consistency. Like, that's what I was depending on. And that's so bad for me, and such a bad habit to have in general, to depend on any one thing. I've done it forever, and it's always let me down. Every single time it's let me down, because that one thing, whatever it is, falls through. Forever until my junior year, it was my grades. It's why getting my first B was horrendous, because it wasn't because I got the B. It's because my mental system and my belief system was completely built on that.
The foundation of your sanity was gone.
Yes. And so that's why right now it's like this Roblox game, but like the second, like even that will be a Roblox server will be down, and like I will have a full-fledged mental breakdown, because it is this, like, that's how I build my belief system. And that you need to get out of this, and that I need to get out of this truly, is nothing is consistent, and basing your belief system off of one thing in your life being consistent, not a super good thing. 2 is, if you're gonna do that, don't make it a person, because it just, like, it made the situation for everybody involved infinitely worse, because I took everything so personally, because it was like, in the moment why I called my mom in, my world was crumbling, because the relationships I had with those people were my world and what I depended on. And that's not fair to them. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to my mom at 11 o'clock at night who's trying to go to bed when I need 2 hours worth of advice. Like, that's just, it's not good. So all of that to say, I at this moment am going to start a TikTok series of kind of reclaiming my independence. I know a lot of people, specifically like Anna Sitar is someone I saw do this. She, after her breakup, did like this whole like becoming like more independent and like getting out of this rut of being dependent, or like not like
Relearning how to
codependent.
live as your own unit.
Yes. And I'm not going through a breakup. I'm not going through a friendship breakup. I'm telling you, all of these people are still in my life and we are okay. But for me, and what I learned in this past week through said situation, is that you have the only system you can truly rely on in any semi capacity is yourself. And your everything but this can be as little as like, but I'm alive, or like, but there's going to be tomorrow. And kind of that consistent like being independent of myself, of like, and even if it's whatever that is for you, for me, if it's reverting to the things in my life are falling apart, so I'm gonna go home and like read for a couple hours, instead of I'm gonna go home, call my boyfriend, go over to his house, and like forget that the world exists. That is a coping mechanism and great, believe me, but it's not good for not inducing habits of dependency when you have issues like I do. And this is not issues for everyone, and everyone's relationship and friendship and whatever the above looks different, but especially in the stage of life I am now, i.e. 18 years old and in college, when things are consistently changing, I find this habit of like, if you even just listen to 18 to 22-year-olds talk, everyone's life is consistently changing. We're all falling to shambles slightly every day. And everyone is trying to cling on to something of a lot of conversations I hear end with, yeah, all of that, but this and this. And that's the same, like the dependency. And if it's different for you every day, then whatever. But it's you don't want to fall into this cycle of being dependent on someone else, something else, for your own sanity, because it is always going to let you down. So my highest recommendation,
because at the end of the day, they're not responsible for your mental state. And when you lay that responsibility on them, one, it's not fair to them, but two, it's an unstable, unstable structure for your friendship.
Yeah, because even if you're doing it indirectly, like there was never a like purposeful moment where I went like, oh yeah, let me depend on my friendships and boyfriend for like stability. It just is that's just something I've kind of always done. I latch on to friends and then it always ends poorly for me. And so part of this whole like adulting thing, I'm trying to like get friendships that last. It's kind of wild and crazy.
It's a adulting thing.
But with that becoming this, I'm going to, something I've always needed to do, but this week especially realized as a slap in the face. I'm gonna do some independency and work on being independent in and of myself and still having them and using them. And there's nothing wrong with you have the group of people around you and using them as a support system is half of what they're there for. And so I'm not telling you to like not, when you're crying, call your boyfriend or best friend or whoever it may be and get
it's good to be supported by your friends. It's just not good when that's the only method of support that you have available.
Correct. You have to be comfortable. You have to be as near or as comfortable being by yourself and with yourself in situations like that as you are with that person. And you might have a preference, but you have to be able to do both. And I found myself not doing that. And my world fell apart for nobody else except for my fault. So I hope you were able to read through my rambling. I really, really should have told Morgan the uncensored version of this before we recorded it. I might have made this more effective. But I hope it's an important topic. I hope you get it out of this. Along with that, I had a TikTok blow up today.
Okay, blow up is a little bit dramatic, but it did get some traction.
Almost 1,000 likes. Leave me alone.
What?
Almost 1,000 likes. Leave me alone.
No, it'll probably hit 1,000 because all the comments were made like an hour before I checked, so it was like a delayed reaction a little
Yes,
bit.
it was up for a few hours before it got traction. So anyways, the TikTok trend was it was from a few weeks ago, but it was the like things that I could talk for hours about. I actually, as soon as I posted it, I thought of like 4 more that I really wish I'd put, and now that it kind of like did well for our page, I'm wishing that I had. So I might do a part 2, but regardless of that,
Yes,
there will be TikToks now posted of me actually like planned and written and scripted out talking about some of those things, because they're things that I genuinely could talk for hours about and I'm very passionate about.
and I'm hoping that for at least a couple of them that we have to talk about it first, but make them into podcast episodes, because I know that I would like to participate in the conversations of some of those. So if you haven't seen that TikTok, it is posted on eitr.podcast. No matter when you listen to this, it'll probably still be pretty close to the top, because
we don't post it often.
We've been getting better, but correct.
So some of them all we were responding to, some of them we already do have podcast episodes about, some of them we will shortly, and some of them there will be both a video and podcast episode.
Yes.
So just be looking out for that. I think I am definitely going to do a part 2, because some really ones that I really would love to talk about are not on there. But regardless of that, make sure with that I'm going to segue into, make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're not doing our outro yet, but
no, we still have our supplementals.
Yes. It's at eitr.podcast. With that, Morgan is going to do her fun fact and quote.
Okay. My fun fact was produced by Google. I just literally looked up fun fact and they gave me one. I didn't even have to go to a random website. So this actually could be true. So this is a fact about the United States. So all of our international, Americans probably don't know this either. So since 1789, which was not when our country was founded, everybody, do not get it wrong, over 10,000 amendments to the Constitution have been introduced in Congress, and of those, 33 were adopted and sent to the states for ratification, and only 27 of them were ratified. And some of them since then have been, they don't exist anymore. But where... I lost Corinne for a second. Yeah, pretty interesting.
My fun fact is the sentence, "The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog," uses every letter in the English language.
Which I heavily doubted, because I don't remember which one, but there was like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, that letter's not in there. I definitely did look. It is. That's fact checked by Morgan.
Okay, I don't have a quote this week, so Morgan, you quote.
Oh, okay. Oh, mine is from Winston Churchill. Success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. I think that I needed that because I am losing enthusiasm. So.
All right, with that, we are going to wrap this up. It is on 10:30 for me and 11:30 Morgan's time. So we're going to peace out on y'all. Thank you so much for listening. If you are watching this either the day this goes up or the day before this went up, our first YouTube video went up. So make sure.
No.
Yes.
I thought we already had one on YouTube. We do.
No, like YouTube video, like my YouTube video.
Oh, I forgot about real YouTube. Oh my god.
You haven't filmed your video, have you? Because I need it by Thursday.
Okay.
Anyways, please make sure that you go subscribe on YouTube, Elephant in the Room Podcast, Instagram and TikTok at eitr.podcast. You can follow our individual TikToks and Instagrams from there. We also started a productivity challenge on both our TikTok and our Instagram. We're trying for 100 days consecutively to post a time lapse of us being productive. This week
it has not gone to plan so far.
We're not talking about that. This week you're getting 2 podcast episodes moving forward. Obviously, we post every single Monday morning. Thank you guys so much for listening. Oh my god, our sock of the week.
Yes. So we mentioned last episode that we're going to start sock of the weeks because our microphones are new and lovely, but they can get a little echoey. So we put, instead of having, what are they called?
The wind covers, windshield.
Yes. Instead of buying those, we're using a sock. So, Corinne, would you like to introduce yours to the camera?
I have a fuzzy sock. It's like a brownish gray color with white polka dots. She's very cute. It's what I was wearing on my feet. Oh God.
Yes. Today I actually was wearing 2 pairs of fuzzy socks because I woke up and it was 40 degrees and I live in Florida. And that's too much. So anyway, I had this on the top layer, so I feel like it's not actually considered dirty yet. It matches my Sherpa. It is a, what would you call that? Black
Plaid?
and white gingham, maybe?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
gingham.
Gingham. It's lovely. Anyway, tune in next week for the next sock of the week.
All right, with that, thank you guys so much for listening, and new podcast episodes every single Monday morning wherever you listen to podcasts or YouTube. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening, and peace out.
Bye guys.
Bye.